Hi, welcome to the Shelly Studio and ATC a day for 2019. I hope you guys are playing along. These are the ones I've done in the past 4 days. Let's see, well, including Wednesday today. I did it a day early so I could get it up this morning. So I have day 2, 3, 4, and 5 on here. So I'm just starting with attaching some dictionary paper. Nothing, no words in particular, just grabbed a piece. And yeah, I'm just using this compass mask. It was sitting on my desk is the sole total reason that I used it. And I'm just cleaning off that little extra paint, and that will be our next one. And that is a kind of a blue metallic paint, which I really like. It's smelly though, those metallics, kind of smelly. But I didn't think it was dark enough to see, so I'm gonna add some more. This one's called English Navy, and it's just a cheap craft paint, and kind of a messy do, but it was very runny paint. It works. Stencils and stuff work much better with a little bit thicker paint and not so runny. So I decided I really want to see some of those shapes, so I'm just going around with a pen. This one is not like permanent, so if you get it wet it will activate. And then I'm just going to sharpen up those lines so you can really see what it is. And there, some of them were confusing. Probably because I didn't have my stencil lined up quite right when I did it. So here I'm just taking a water brush and activating the ink from that pen. And that was a Uniball Air pen, by the way. Just creating a little bit of shading, really making that star shape stand out. I've decided I want to kind of fix some of those areas that kind of got messed up. Now, really with ATCs, and I think I mentioned that on my first one, which will be in a playlist, so if you check the link below, I'll have a playlist, though this is the second video, so it won't be much yet, unless you're watching this, a year from now, then whole playlist will be there. But I just think these are fun ways of just messing around, creating interesting little pieces without too much stress, just kind of having fun, and that's what they are for me. Just a lot of fun to play. Okay, so I have all these words. This is a Gina B. Aaron's words download, and they're measured to fit onto small labels, but I just put them on some label paper I already had, and so I just cut them up to fit my, I don't want all the extra white on there, so yeah, and I'm just picking them randomly. So there's the first one. And so the second one had that blue metallic on it already, and this is a Stabilo All that I just got wet and kind of scribbled a line on there, not really knowing what I was going to do. And then I don't really have the glue for these mica flakes, so I was thinking the glue stick would work. Probably not the best solution, but it did stick on some of them, so. And I didn't completely cover it. I it looked like I was glue sticking the whole thing, but I wasn't really. I was just putting little spots in places. So anyway, so it's got a little sparkle from the gold. This is me trying to push it down, make sure it sticks. And I pulled out these little magazine pieces, but I didn't feel like any of them went. So I just pulled out some pink and put some splatters and then dabbed the paint. And then I decided, you know, it kind of looks like flowers. I thought it looked like a Japanese or Chinese script, and then that looked like flowers, and so I thought I would go with that and make it look like cherry blossoms a little bit. That was the plan. I've got the video zoomed in a bit so you don't see there's white paint over to the side. Added just a little bit of white to get us some differentiation in color. And just a few little green dabs. This one is called mint green. Then I think I add another one. Can't remember, it might be forest green. So now I'm taking all of that and dabbing that onto the next ATC and scraping and just creating an interesting background. We'll use that maybe on the next one. Alright, so it's dry now, so I thought I would outline the flowers a little bit. And as I'm drawing them, I'm like, now they look kind of cartoony a little bit. But once I've done one, I keep going. And I decide maybe I could dab paint back into them and it would be less kind of drawn on. And I think I like the way it looks in the end. I'm happy with it. And here again, pulled out some of those words, hoping to find one that would work. And there we go. Breathe. Outline that and go around it with the ink pad. Give it a nice little border. And there is number 2 of this video series. Kind of a little messy there, but it was fun. So here I am taking some of my stamped tissue paper. So these are Seth Apter stamps that I just stamped all over this tissue paper. And we're just going to use some, I have some DecoArt's Decopage. I really prefer the Liquitex matte medium to do this, but it's a lot more expensive. And I bought this and I hadn't really used it much, so I thought I'd try it out. And it reminds me a lot of Mod Podge. It's still very shiny and very thick. And here I'm trying to decide what else I want to put on it. I think I end up going with one of Gina B. Aaron's birds. This is from one of her stamps. See me sitting there trying to decide which one I'm going to do. I'll just pull the bird out of there. So, I actually have this flipped over, so the actual ink side is on the back, and this is the other side. And I'm just filling in the color. I kind of thought this would be a good way to do it, and then I can just flip it over, use the Decopage to put it on, and have the nice stamped image with the color bird. So, it's kind of an orangey yellow. probably gone for a little bit more orange. And I also put some white, since there's some funky colors in my card. I wanted white just to help make sure that the yellow would stand out when we flip this over and glue it on. And you don't see that part. I think the battery, I ran out of battery on my camera. And my camera does not have a hookup for power outlet. So there, see, you can see how nice the lines are. That's because I painted on the back side. And here I'm just lightening around the edges. I decided I wanted things to stand out more, so we're just putting a little bit of white around. I felt like it needed more, and I don't like the plastic slick surface. You can't really see it, but in person you can really see it, and it just, I don't know, it's weird. So I decided I'd add a little bit of white gesso, and I'm just smushing through the stencil so you get like raised areas, so it gives an interesting texture to the background. Kind of covers up most of those words, but that's okay, they were just for interest. And then after doing that, I decided I needed to outline it, and then I just keep drawing. There we go. You see me wave my hands, it's like, okay, what else should I do? I think that, and I find words for it, and that's it for that one. Cut out some of that word finding, because that just takes a long time sometimes when nothing seems to work. So we're going to go with just live. Alright, and there we go. We have one more, and this one is Wednesday, today's video, and I used to subscribe to HGTV magazine, and I've kind of clipped out a lot of stuff, and these were all pillows. I'm like, they're kind of fun patterns, so I cut them out just for their patterns and figured I'd use them eventually. So today is the day. That was it. Now it's dry. You can see it very well dry, but it looks better than it did wet, I promise. So I'm going to add some texture paste through this stencil, just because I felt I needed something to unify it, and I'm trying to keep it kind of thick. You can see it's thick on one side and thin on the other. The thin side probably would have been thick enough, but, you know, just having fun. So there that is. And I have like a close-up of it before I add anything. I think I'll show it to you. Yeah, I changed it to black and white because I posted it on Instagram and I wanted to change it a little bit so it's, you know, make it interesting. So here I'm just adding some drips, hoping they will go around the triangles. And they do. Get that all dried up. And go around it with purple ink this time. And I kind of made a mess of that. There we go. Okay. So I have these purple butterflies, came out of a magazine. And since there's such thick texture on there, I'm going to glue them onto a little bit of cardstock and then cut out the butterflies, so that they won't, when I glue them to the textured background, they won't look all messy and bumpy. And they don't really want to sit flat, so I do set my acrylic block on there to try and keep them flat so that all the glued edges will touch. And there we go. Felt like it was all samey, so I'm going around it with my black Posca just to help it stand out a little bit. Not sure if that helps or not, but maybe it does. Okay, now for the words. I feel like if I dump them out, I'll take the first one that pops out and stands out to me, and that's what I actually did on that one. It's amazing. Alright, we're going to glue that one down. And there it is. So I hope you're enjoying these. This is just the very first part of the week. First part of June. So got a long ways to go. Hope I can keep it up. If you did like this, please hit like. Feel free to share, comment. And if you'd like to see more from me, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.